Hey Jane, how you doing?
Hey Joe, I'm good. How are you?
Great. I've been excited to be in the driver's seat this time. So usually I feel like I'm in the background of these things,
hmm
taking the comments and stuff. So now I'm feeling actually a little bit nervous, like doing stuff live in front of. So I don't know how do you do it. You've done we're on our ninth episode now of
Yeah.
Appy Hour, which is your brainchild. I think it's pretty fun to have this like experiment going, and we got people joining us from different places around the globe. And I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to be in the hot seat and build something out. Or in this case, we're doing Vizlib-iffy, which
Yes.
is what did we decide? Like this was an existing app, and oh, hey,
Oh,
Kosher.
we've got someone. Hey.
Um, I can see the comments now. When I think I start sharing, I'll have to lean on you to see stuff come through.
Yeah.
But
No problem.
Vizlib-iffy is where we take existing apps, existing Qlik Sense apps, and add some stuff to it. So that's like what I do most of the time.
Yeah. I hear
Um,
you've got some cool tips and tricks to show us.
yeah, this one's been requested a few times. This capability called Viztips, and it's you can get pretty wild with it. We'll have some fun with it, and then take suggestions from the audience. I also want to. Oh yeah, we got that prep. You're working on this fun project that I won't divulge too much information, but in August, there's something really sweet we're working on, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can draw some people in and get some suggestions from the audience on their candies. Actually, we have a fair bit of people already. If you want to, yeah, ask them what do we need? We need the names of some things, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, if you guys are big candy lovers like me, I always have candy on hand. If anyone wants to tell us some, like your candy, the nutrition facts, and if you know like when it was made, the manufacturer, we'd love to collect some data on that. Um,
yeah,
I
we're
never,
building a big treat database, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think I would run out of candies, but I am. I'm like,
I know you.
am I out of candies? I thought I knew all
Do
the
you have
candies.
anything within reach of you right now that is candy?
Oh,
You
oh
always do,
my,
right?
oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Airheads and Sour Patch Kids?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different. Is it green screened out or is that what it looks like?
No, this is green screened out.
Okay.
That's funny. It's
They're
green. It's like
usually
lime
green.
green. So
Okay.
it's green screened out.
Like you got the special flavor I haven't seen before.
Yeah, this is like the July 4th one. Oh, this is green screened out too.
So, for folks in the audience, feel free to type in what your favorite candy is. Jane's got the database growing already. We can just say yay or nay, we already have it, but it would be great to hear
Yeah.
before we jump in so we can get some audience participation in this data set that will be coming out in August.
Yeah.
So let's see. I know there's a little bit of delay, but we'll keep some things in, and maybe if things slow down, feel free to ask again as more people join what your favorite candy is, and we'll wrap it up with that too.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. If anyone has your favorite candy, send it in anytime. Or your least favorite candy, send that in too.
Ooh, least favorite candy. What is your favorite one? I know it's something sour, right?
I think it might. I really love these. I love anything with like a weird licorice aftertaste. I know that sounds weird. I don't like licorice, but like these have like an aftertaste to it that I really like. I don't know why. What about you?
So we had something, as you're talking about licorice, my granny, as we call her, my grandma in Michigan, she passed away a few years ago, but we would always get my grandpa like turtles, like chocolate turtles that are covered in pecans and stuff like that. Really delicious stuff. And somehow everybody in our family thought Granny really loved like black licorice, not like regular licorice, but black. So anytime we could find candy that had the black licorice type of flavor, like Good and Plenty's, I think are black licorice.
Yeah.
We give her that. And she's so sweet. She just like eat them and everything. And it wasn't until like very late in her life and just a few years ago that she's like, why does everybody get me black licorice? I don't even like the stuff. And it just blew our minds that we thought this was your favorite thing, but she just never told us. She just didn't like it. She was just so sweet.
Oh,
So I think about that now and I see like Good and Plenty's on the shelf and I'm like, I'll try it. I don't like them either. But now I'm like, in the same kind of vein as my granny. Like, I don't really like it that much.
Yeah, be careful.
There's
People are
something
going to
to it.
start
Yeah,
giving
I
me
don't
some.
want to. No, I don't need that. I'm a chocolate guy. Like, that's what I would sort out Halloween candy on the floor. Got jelly beans coming in.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like jelly beans.
There are so many flavors, Joachim, like and brands. Which one should we go with? Do you have Jelly Bellies in the set already?
No, there's so many Jelly Bellies. I have to slowly type it out. I think there's 49 flavors and just the original Jelly
Are you
Bellies.
going to put each one in there or just a random Jelly Bellies like packet?
No, I think I'm gonna put all the flavors. So it's just me Jelly Bellies and then just all the flavors in a list. M&Ms. Yeah, M&Ms.
But I love to eat M&Ms, Kaushik. Yeah. I've seen M&Ms used in data courses as well, like to show like arranging things, the colors, the shapes. That's kind of fun. We could do something with that maybe. And then, do you know this last one? I don't think I've heard this brand.
Choletta. No.
Choletta.
Choletta?
We'll look it up. Yeah. Cool. Well, we got a few. Let's keep at it because that database is going to grow. Ooh, we got a link from Joachim. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. So more in store with that. Stay tuned. Maybe prizes are on the line. I'm giving away too much, but let's see. So I'm going to jump over, share my screen. I think when I do that, I have to switch really quick. Otherwise, it's like Hall of Mirrors. But, before we do that, it's Happy Hour. Like, what are you drinking today?
Okay. I don't love this, but it's the San Pellegrino lemon and lemon zest. It's got a weird taste to it.
Lemon and lemon zest?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. It's got like a aftertaste, almost kind of like, whiskey. Some people like whiskey, but you know how like whiskey has that like a bitter kind of aftertaste to it? This one has that, and I'm not. It smells like, it smells like those like hand sanitizers. Remember when they were so bad? There was like a time when they smelled awful.
Yes.
That's what this smells like.
That's why you don't like it. I'm like, I usually like the bubbly water type of stuff, and lemon is one of my go-to flavors, but that seems like it might even be like a cleanser almost.
It's got it like
I have it's a smoothie. It's kind of a little bit of green screened out, but it has bananas. I think I added way too much peanut butter, so I had to water it back down with some almond milk, cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla. It's pretty good, but it's thick. So I've had it over 2 days now because it's just I think it's very high in calories. Tim Tams. Oh, are those are candies or cookies?
I would call them like biscuit, like candy.
Ooh. You've been hanging out with the UK crowd.
Yeah, biscuits.
All right, that's one for them. Okay, we're gonna actually get into some stuff now. We want to talk Viztips, so I'm gonna do this and then move over here. Let me know when you see my screen, Jane.
Yep, I see your screen.
Okay, I actually picked up. You might have these near you, little free libraries. They're like those, they're just kind of placed all around towns and people lend books.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I found one today and it was my reason for, oh man, that screened out too. It's called The Paradox of Choice and Why More is Less by Barry Schwartz. And I'm like, I've heard of this. I haven't read this book before, but I picked it up and I'm like, this is going to be what I kind of talk about. So
we got a heart from Simon Dasher.
Oh, you don't know who that is, do you?
Simon?
It's Martin.
Oh, hi, Martin.
That's his Twitter handle. Yeah, hey, Martin. So Paradox of Choice. As I'm thinking about this, like we often see dashboards, right? Both of us and Cody too, like that just have so many things on the screen. And this is a really common use of Qlik. So I'm like, how would you use this? You have this bar chart and we'll stick with this one. So I'll try to explain a little bit about it. But you have all these brands that your company may manage, and you want to see how it's working across different social streams. Actually, let me close out Slack.
We have a question or kind of a comment saying it would be nice if it was possible to have Viztips on the KPI designer object itself. So you get info when hovering over KPI objects. I think that is a good idea.
think we can experiment with it. I thought I saw it on the list, so let's see. And then I'll get into like what Viztips are and where they can be used. Definitely, that's a good one. Viztip and a Viztip. Yeah, it's like Exhibit and Inception, all that stuff. So let's say you have like hundreds or thousands of brands here, and you have all these charts that are showing you like your impact on social media, maybe if you have a rewards program, how many members, and this growth and different metrics. Most of the time when you do this visually, you have to click on one thing, you kind of drill in, and you go, okay, here's this Motivatus, I'm not even sure I said that right, brand, and how it's going. Then I click back out and I look at a different one like 5-9. And I find myself, if I want to focus in on something like, we're going to have a campaign around adding more rewards members. So I find myself wanting to click and look at this. And of course, that could mean I make a brand new sheet and then I just focus on rewards members. That might be a good thing to do. But I don't want to have to keep clicking on these things. And I just kind of want to roll over and see, because I might have brands in mind.
Yeah,
so
and
this
I can
is
also
where Viztips comes in. Yeah.
I can see if you don't want to use up so much real estate and you just want to get a quick snapshot, and maybe, you know, on the bottom you have something else. Yeah, you just want
You got it. And you have you could put additional things in this tooltip, but to have additional charts and to do these different things, it was a limitation. And you know, real talk here. Years ago, I saw Tableau create dynamic tooltips, and I was like, "Oh, I want that." It adds a level of interactivity. I wanted to like look at these dashboards people were making, and really wanted it to come to the Qlik ecosystem. So I put in requests when I was at Qlik, and you know, there's a lot to it. But then we released it at Vizlib, like I think Martin was telling me, like weeks after it was decided, things were in motion. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use this. It's going to be my favorite thing. So this is absolutely one of my favorite capabilities. So keep this in mind, what you had to do before, all of that real estate, like you're talking about. What if instead, I really want people to experiment with things and go in and look at this data. So kind of arrange things a little differently, same exact data, but instead of having to click on each one, I can just roll my mouse over and I can see in the tooltip how this particular brand is trending, its funding, maybe other additional information like when it was founded, what market it's in, categories, and it makes me want to interact with the data at a different level. Like I want to roll over. I don't want this printed out in a PDF or bursted to me. I actually want to get into this application and just move my mouse around things. Really interestingly too, this technique called Viztips basically puts whatever we want inside of a box when we can change it, right? But I'm also using it off to the edge. And this is because for the clickies, you know, out there using set analysis, we give you a set analysis statement and can use in other charts. So as I rolled over Wonga as the brand, it put that in as the dimension or the set really to set all these things like their Facebook followers, rewards members, liabilities, and their logo. So if I move to 5-9, it changes all the charts. It's interactive. I'm not clicking on anything, but it's changing the whole interface. And I love this this way of approaching things because it really makes you want to browse your data really quickly, but get a lot of information really quickly at your fingertips.
Yeah, and I can
things. Yeah,
you've added in images too that also can change depending on what it is. Yeah, that's very cool.
A technique there also with set analysis that knows, and you can do this in other. Nest might not have an image, I think, but Elance does for Up. You can use this in other areas and other types of visualizations, but actually this whole sidebar is one KPI object. And then I use the buttons to kind of change the one chart. Like I said, maybe I wanted to focus on just YouTube. Now I can quickly roll over things and I don't have to move my eye a bunch of times to click something, go back, click something, go back. I'm now just exploring the data. So that's kind of the use of what we call Viztips. Lots of examples that we throw out on our documentation. And so you can have whatever you want here with images like these flags, and we put it into different visualizations too. So it's not just this bar chart, but we're showing a table. We can put it actually in the filter. So you think about that as a filter drop down. Normally it's a filter box. That's all it does. Now you can add even more context. So if you're trying to figure out which one to pick, you just hover over and get more details about Brazil. Yeah, that's the one I want. And then you click on it. So we have pretty good documentation and examples here. In that question that came in earlier, there's this grid of our capabilities across all of our products. And Viztips has its own section. So it's in the table. It's in the filter, as I talked about, the bar chart, of course, that I showed. We just recently put it into the SAM key, and it is in the KPI designer. At least it says it is in this chart, so we can play around with that.
And we can find this chart in the community, right?
Yep. Vizlib, community.vizlib.com, or if you just search Google for Viztips, it's a fairly unique word now, and it should go right to our site.
Okay, great.
So let's take this apart because I want to play around with this and show maybe how it was built. Again, just a bar chart. Maybe we'll give ourselves a bit more space so I can put the actual Viztip that we're using here when I hover over. Normal bar chart, the company and then the total funding. That's just the standard one. But we have the section for Viztips and tooltips. Normally, it's just the static, tell me the particular metrics there. But if we turn on Viztips, it's going to give me a quick preview too. And I get to pick which content I want to pull in. And when you click this list, what you're getting is all the Vizlib KPIs that you might have as master visualizations in this app. So I think I'm using Viztip brand, but if I pick stocks, it's actually going to swap it out, pick a different visualization. It'll try to put in the right information where possible, but that might not be what I want. So I'll stick with brand, but this is where I'm getting it from.
Okay,
so let's put this here.
You make these elsewhere, and then you save them as a master item, and then you can choose from your master items which one you want to show.
Yeah, you got it. Let's put this on here so you can see. And pro tip is try to make it similar in kind of the aspect ratio that you want it to be for the Viztip. You can change the size of these, and we're going to break this link just so they can see. Multi-layered. This is how I put in all the information, 11 layers. So really no limits here. It can be images, charts, numbers, of course, or you can make a very basic, you can put in a whole narrative of things and it has no visualizations, just a lot of text and values. It just depends on what context you want to give people. So I like the visual stuff, especially trends, because if you have a bar chart, it's just at one point in time, right? Or whatever you happen to be looking at. But the trend is showing you for that very thing, how did it get to that point? So we use this in our internal analytics for marketing and sales to see, okay, we're at this number of people using Vizlib library, but how did it get there? The trends. So it has, I think, pretty good uses across many different kind of use cases. As far as the Viztip stuff here, how did we get post holdings? I didn't just write the name post. In the name itself, there's a set analysis. And I want to capitalize just in case. So just some regular Qlik stuff. I want to grab the max string for the name. The name is the name of the company. And this particular set is what we create for you automatically. This Vizlib Viztip set, you can just paste into anywhere that you can use an expression. And what that means is when you roll over or hover over something, it's going to change this set. And it's going to allow you to get that name or get that value specific to what you're highlighting or hovering over.
If I made just a random KPI and I did not include this, and you made that KPI into a Viztip, the name would not change. It would just be static.
If I didn't have that in there, it would just be the first one it finds or just the overall value. So every time you hover over something, it would all be the same. So you definitely want to use this Viztip set. And the way you get it is
we have a question.
Go ahead.
Can this set be modified?
Yes, I'll look at that. So the way to get to it is, we know we want it in this bar chart, for instance. So I click Viztips. There's a little tutorial that takes you to it, and it gives you these really handy placeholder values for the set. The standard one is just what I showed there. It'll give you the $ expansion of that set, or I'm sorry, the set expression. You can throw it into the sum of, say, amount. But if you wanted to do an inline one, because you already have set analysis in play, we can give you that too. And that allows you to customize this to your heart's content and kind of add on to, complex set analysis that you might have. So we give you the two kind of versions of that. The basic one, which gets you most of the way. And then this one, if you already have a really extensive app.
Awesome.
Good
So
question.
we don't have to memorize how to write this. It's already given right
No,
there.
I'm terrible actually with set analysis. My favorite website when I'm building stuff is just the set analysis wizard. You'd think I would have it bookmarked by now, but I just go out there, and this one's from Stefan Walter, long ago, and I just spend time here and use the examples that he has for how to do this stuff. I've taken training. I just can't for the life of me remember the exact equations for these things. So I go here and build the sets, kind of open the wizard. You may want to look at this and put this directly in if Martin's still listening. So that's a good one. Even though it says click view, it's for everything. But this kind of short circuits that. And Qlik's put a lot of good work into building sets as well that are kind of built in. So the other little element here is you want to change the aspect ratio. So we wanted it to be more of a box. We can do that. And because it's Qlik and it's Vizlib, it is responsive to the size. So the text is a little bit smaller, but it might not be as legible. So I often make them a little bit wider, but you can make them, as big as you want or as small within reason. Yeah, and so that's kind of how they're built. What I thought is fun is there's a couple different techniques. As I said, we need this KPI to be built so they can use it in the other charts. But again, you can have a completely separate chart like this, and these YouTube followers has the chart, and this is all fake data anyhow, but we just throw that particular set in here. So it really has nothing to do with maybe even the bar chart itself, but it's just related to the name of the company. So you can use that set throughout the application, which I think is fun. The other little thing, just for testing, because we had to go find a service that has all these like brand logos and things. Mm-hmm. And if it's not that, but you definitely want something visual, Pierce actually gave this to me a long time ago, and it's called Cat as a Service. I wrote this up here so I wouldn't forget about it. And Cat as a Service gives you, let's open up this one, a little service website that you can go to, and you can paste in the name of something at the end of the URL. And so we'll unhighlight that one, and it will generate the most appropriate, hopefully appropriate, like funny cat GIF with the name of whatever you throw in there or value. So if I put that in there, it should now be, I'll hit done so it can go out and find one for, say, 5.9. And it'll put a little cat 5.9 on there.
I see it. Let me get rid of that.
Yep, I see it at the corner. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So I use Cat as a service whenever I want like a placeholder of something. Wonga. It doesn't even make sense, but it'll try to find something related to Wonga if there's a video for cats. And so we can, I can share that link because people might want that. Or the best thing I could do is probably just share the full application and people can take this apart. I don't know. Do you want me to just throw that in the chat?
Yeah, well, what do people want? Right? Do you guys want this shared? I think you can actually find this. It's your retail brand app.
Part of it is in there, this retail brand app, but I don't know if Cat as a Service is. So
I can tell people about it.
Okay. Catas.com. And I think you can kind of build it from there. So we'll leave that one. If people want it, feel free to, message us and we can get it over to you. So that's a little bit about the initial Viztips. Again, you can get as wild as you want. We give you KPI templates that are built into the product, but you can end up creating your own. So we could probably spend hours just talking about how to lay out these things. It's kind of like Qlik or other BI tools where you can have multiple layers, and these can end up being, you know, those really dynamic Viztips. I think I ran through everything really quickly that I thought I could prepare for this. So Jane, you know, you want to take me down any rabbit holes here? Other things you might want to see?
Yeah, I was wondering if we can just create a new Viztip right now, quickly.
Yeah.
So maybe people can see.
I grabbed another one that we have another example app that has, this one's kind of fun. And it's, as I thought about it, this is like the Appy Hour type of thing. So let's look at this one. I haven't looked at it in a while, but let's say you have a bunch of ingredients and you want to see, or you have a particular drink and you want to see what ingredients are in there.
Oh, so you can hover over and see maybe like another chart of what's in there. Yeah, that's
green
cool.
dinosaur, and it includes these particular things. And having something fun like this, let's create maybe this type of Viztip.
We have a suggestion. Can we try doing a KPI designer object with a Viztip?
The kind of
so Viztip,
the Inception one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we can do. We're going to grab what we can. Actually, is this a published app? Yeah, it is. So I might have some limits here. You know, I'm going to have to just duplicate this full app. Easy enough. Please don't judge me when you see my work stream, but we work on a lot of crazy random things. So now it's in there. Just got to remember where it's at.
It's like a little teaser of what's to come.
I have quite a few things in there. So let's find Viztips. Viztips 1, 2. You can see I was playing around with it. Okay, here I can get to the master items and stuff and be able to build this. So you want to do this in, you know, in a non-published app to get started, because you're going to have to use master visualizations. And well, we'll just edit this full thing then. Click edit. We're going to move the bar chart over. And we want to do the KPI designer.
Yeah, we can make a bar chart of the KPI. We can make a bar chart in the KPI designer and then add some Viztips on top of that bar chart.
Or Viztips on top of a KPI. Oh, okay, I get what you mean. There's a lot going on there. Behind the bar. Let's just see what this one is, because this should be the image of the particular drink. And here's what we're going to do. The Zorro. We're going to edit this one. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I want to break this link. Yes, so we can see what's in here. Let's grab a better drink, because that doesn't look. Gin. I don't really like gin. And beach. This is a really interesting drink, though.
The grizzly bear.
Jägermeister.
What is Qlik Sense?
Where do you see it?
It's the last one. Yeah.
Black Sambuca. Sambuca's your licorice flavor, isn't it?
Is it? I've never had Sambuca. I've never heard of Sambuca.
Terrible.
It does. They shouldn't call it Qlik Sense. They should call it like Swamp Lands.
Licorice orange juice. That's what I'm getting from it. So
I tried to make an orange juice. So I did like half orange juice, half this, and it came out so gross that I was like, no thanks.
Okay, so KPI designer, it has its 4 layers. Viztips is here. I think that's just the initial thing. What people want is the ability to put a Viztip on a layer. Tooltips, enable tooltips. I think that we would have to do, this is the HTML style tooltip. As I hover over this one, that's where it's going to put it. So how can we do that? I grabbed that cat as a service one from another app. As I said, Pierce gave it to me through Gantt.
What if we just made a random visualization in the KPI designer and then added this viz tip on top of that?
I don't know if we can, because this is a little different. I may have taken us down a rabbit hole where I said we could do something and we actually can't. Because this is still really powerful, because you can put, let me just double check it's not in there.
What's interesting is I don't really know why that would be, because usually I feel like when people use the KPI designer, it's to make something visually pretty that might not, be such a deep dive.
Right.
So I can't imagine having, if you're going to have a bar chart in a KPI designer, I can't imagine that then having another layer, because you can always do more in just the native bar chart or Vizlib's bar chart. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, think about like your other very heavy KPI apps, like the burger menu one, which is basically a really big KPI designer. What if you hovered over different elements of the burger and it popped up a different visualization? I think that's what they're going for. So, hey, great, we got a feature request basically that came out of this. I'm good with that. Let me close some of these browsers windows just to speed things up. The one that I grabbed was here. So Gantt has, I know this one has the HTML tooltip, so I just want to copy it out of here. This is where I got the cat as a service as well. So it actually is, it is in an app that people can download. So under the task, we have an HTML tooltip, supports HTML. And I think this was kind of the initial kind of version of what Viztips became, pure HTML. This is code heavy. I'm just going to copy it because there's no way we can write this by hand. Yeah, and then throw this into, I put it on the description. And we're going to change the very last part because we don't have this task name to be drink. See what this gets.
I think you need another.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, I think it needs a parentheses or something.
Good catch. I was moving too fast.
Those little things are so hard to catch.
That's why like co-develop is so nice. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. That's the actual tip or text rather.
Oh, it's
no. And drink. Oh, it's kind of there.
Oh, drink. Ooh. Style.
Oh no. Got myself into. Well, here's the original one. And really all I wanted to do was just do drink here. There is an error in the expression, maybe because I didn't copy the full thing. So like I'm gonna be good, I don't need the whole thing. I should probably just grab it all. Error in expression. No, I have no idea. And that all looks good. We don't have that event. Field. Oh, you see my keyboard is like typing over stuff. And then drink. It was a field, yeah, field list. Wildcard, let's see if we did it. So we didn't give enough space. It's trying to do something. This is why I like Viztips themselves better. In the wrong one again. Versus me having to harken back to building out HTML You see anything else? It says okay. There is a vent description somewhere in there again.
No, but that one's grayed out. What about just date instead of date modified?
It should be a field, I think. It might. I just put 1. Oops. That doesn't matter. It should go right after cat as a service. It put the one in there at least. Let's browse away from the page and come back because maybe it's not set in it.
Or maybe Qlik Sense just doesn't have a cat.
Yeah, it's actually that could be it. Let's find a different one. Which one is more likely to grizzly bear cat? No. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right.
Yeah, I mean, it looks right. Does anyone see anything?
Yeah, let's open that back up again. In the description, we hover over and we want to run a full HTML. It's not there. And
what if you just deleted the event? Do we need that?
That's gone.
And break image.
Image source equals. And
do we need the 1 in there, or can we also delete line 3?
Looks good. That should be. So if we type in this, here's what we can do. Not found. Maybe that's what it should do. And this is what it should do. That's what we want to happen. So I know that works. It's the image source part maybe it's having issues with. I need one of our web developers maybe. I don't know. We can bail from this one, Jane.
Okay.
It's a good one. And it led me down the path of, should we have the ability to put Viztips into Viztips? I don't see why not, because you have uses for it, right?
Thinking off the top of my head, I don't actually have a use for it. Because even with the burger menu, I don't know why I would, if I would to hover over something, I don't know what I want to look at.
Where did we put it here?
Like
we haven't showed this one yet, right? Is that fine if I pull it up?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. We'll duplicate it just because I know we might touch it. So as it comes up, you have KPI designer, the initial load, like throws everything around a bit. You're saying like you wouldn't want a KPI to pop up or another little box when you hover over, say, the bun?
Yeah, I don't know what I would want it to say.
Oops, we don't want to drink all of these at once. What if it had like it put the fries, this image, and the bar chart that tells you this information, the CO2 output information, as you hover over. So then it's, instead of clicking on it, it's just rolling over it.
Oh, and looking. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like almost it's treated like a button almost. Like when you hover over a button, it kind of changes something about the image, and it could have it as you're rolling over. I can make the case for it, but this one's fun. You don't have any Viztips in this one, though, do you?
No, I don't. Someone just said a use case would be to have a KPI object with some numbers. So then hovering over it, you'd have extra information Oh, like, okay, so this is what this number means. That's what this number means.
Well, you could do that. So is it
If
burger?
it's
Bread.
static, oh, I keep touching this. Sorry, guys. If it's static, I feel like we could use a tooltip.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like bread type. Did I type that right? Maybe I have to enter. Yeah. Oh, it's just straight up text. So we could put the number or additional information in there, but if I had another enable tooltip, enable Viztips instead, and you just pick from a different visualization, it would pop it up. They might not like that, but we'll see. We can make the case for it, I feel like.
Yeah, that is a good. I mean, if it has a use case, we can definitely bring it up. And
yeah, go ahead.
Do people know how to recommend ideas? Because it's in our community. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, there's a whole feature request page. So we go to vizlib.com. This is a good one because this stuff is looked at very heavily. Every 2 weeks, at least, I'm looking at it with our product managers. They may be looking at it more. If you go to the help center or community.vizlib.com, the third box, basically, feature requests. You can come in here and you can see what's in here that people have requested before, and we kind of put, yep, it's in progress, it's been implemented. So like a big ideas forum of sorts. It's all there. If multiple people have recommended things, probably search through it first and then add your votes or comments, and that really helps jump it to the top. If you log into, you can follow any of these, so you could see like when they add potentially this, share the selection in Slack or Teams. You could get an update from us when we move it to in progress or implement something. So all that stuff is here. You can see everything that was implemented that was a feature request and who suggested it. There's some familiar faces in there, a lot of Vizlib legends, for instance. So it's a good way to keep close to what we're doing and influence the product.
Yeah, and it's great. People actually read this too, which is something we're proud to say, right?
Oh yeah, it's heavily used, and we use it internally a lot to decide where we're taking the product instead of just deciding like this is what we're going to add. So always good. I'm trying to think if there's anything related to this. Like, is this bar chart though? Is a standard bar chart. Here's an experiment. We're going to put. Can I have some space here? Maybe keep the receipt, but I'm going to put it down there. It's going to be really small. Or mess it up completely. Well, I won't save this one, Jane. Don't worry. What if we did a regular, not regular, but a Vizlib bar chart where we put a Viztip into it, and then I'm going to add it as a master item into the chart instead of the built-in one. I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but I have faith. Fields idea. Is it product? Do you remember this one? Like,
it is product, and I want to say total. Oh, go to measures actually. Yeah.
Is it in measures already? Oh, I don't think it was saved as one here.
Okay, then yeah, use that.
The sum of it or average?
Sum.
Okay, so these two, it's a comparison. Classic, Qlik Sense, default. Ooh, I like that one. Okay, let's just create a regular Vizlib bar chart. There we go. It looks like the fries. Good. We'll add Viztips here. If we have any master items that are visualizations, they would be in this list. So we don't. Let's add the receipt. Just right this time. Okay, we have a master visualization. That's a KPI now. We can choose from the list the receipt KPI. It's going to throw that into this chart. we're going to need to resize it because it is tall and skinny. This one, I always have a little bit of issue with this one, but I don't know why. It's a really big receipt. Super skinny.
Ooh, that looks good.
I don't know where, yeah, it just kind of, it could be that,
Maybe the KPI needs to be resized.
yeah, that it's a slightly different format, but it's okay. I think we can work with it. They get the idea here. If I had a different one, we could just swap it in. Now, Viztips are not in there yet, so we want to copy that and put it into the master visualization. So edit master visual. Oops, there it is. Receipt, edit. So I copied that, hit the copy button for the Viztip, and I want to put what's that value down at the bottom? I don't know exactly how you built this one. Oh, this is very much Inception.
Yeah,
it's a master item within this.
Oh yeah, I made a table within this. I put a table inside of a KPI.
Do we have anything that says the name? I'm just going to throw a text on there so we can just have something that's related to this. And that will be the Viztip, and we want only for the Viztip the
name. We can just do.
Oh wait, that's a variable. Product.
Yeah, product.
I have no idea.
It'll be a bit redundant, but that's fine.
Beef
hurt.
We'll just leave it there so that at least the Viztip will ripple over it when we're in the bar. So let's make sure that works first. Okay, there's our visualization with beef, lamb, mutton. It is changing, so that's good. If we have a different visual, it would do that. Now we want to put this thing in here. What do you think? Like, do you think it's going to work?
Maybe. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, okay, Inception. We make the bar chart. So we make the bar chart into a master item, put that in a KPI.
Yeah. Because we can't currently add it to other layers unless I totally missed something. It was not available in the bar chart. So if I add the master that has, oh wait, I have to make this I have to add this as a master visualization. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Okay, that's there. Let's add fingers crossed. That's a master item. It's experimental, it says. I like that. Fingers crossed. Where's it going to put it for one? Over top of that. Move this guy. There's some room here, right?
Yeah.
Unless I spill stuff into there. You know what? We'll just get rid of this one. Again, I'm not going to... You did save this off, so this is a duplicate.
Yeah, this is fine. You can do it.
Fries are gone. It's new... Very colorful fries that you've left out in the sun for far too long.
Yeah. Got all moldy.
And it jumped off the side a little bit. I think I had this when I was working with this before. I'm going to try it there. So it's just kind of in the middle. Good guess. So here we go.
Dave said this one looks fun. Thanks. We'll release it shortly then.
So I left read only on, which means I can't click on anything. This one does work. This one, not yet. One more test would be, I think I'm really close. Actually, if I make this here, we're going to turn off read only. And okay, final test. Oh,
okay, so we do, okay, great. So we do have a workaround. If you create something elsewhere, make it a master item in a KPI designer. Okay, so there are workarounds to this. That's good to hear.
I would be comfortable with this. Master items, you have to be careful with these because I've seen some where they put far too many, and Qlik has to draw all of these individually. Versus when you do a regular KPI designer, like what you have here, there's a lot in here, but it actually all gets loaded at one time. This is like, it basically is that HTML, like it's putting an iframe of just the object on top of it. So if you have 20 of these, it has to load them all at once or all independently. And that's where this probably won't scale as well yet. But if people were like, yeah, I want something like this, I think we should still put in a feature request though.
But it's good that there's a workaround. This is good to know.
One more. This is 3 levels of Inception, which is definitely one of my favorite movies to just like think about for far too long.
Okay, so we've got the question. So what did we change in the end? So what we did was we made a bar chart, added a Viztip to that bar chart, and then made that bar chart a master item and put that into a different KPI.
You got it.
Yeah, so do you see that bar chart up at the top right? That is the bar chart that we made into a master item, and then we put that into the menu on the left.
Yep. That is the type of layer is the master item where I picked it.
Oh, and then you have to turn off read only. So if it says read only, you have to check it.
Did I do the other one? What do you call this whole thing? I thought I just saved it. I was going to attempt one more thing, and that is to put this whole thing inside of itself. And I'm just curious what it would do.
Ooh, it might just be menu.
or pick burger.
Container.
It will change the visual, so I guess we could just look at it. Is it a miniature version of it? No. Yes. No, that's your receipt. Didn't I save this whole thing? I thought I did, and then I broke it. Choose your layer.
Okay.
API Inception. Okay, should add it to this side. KPI Inception, there it is. Now I'm gonna break the link because I want to edit this one. And this is where it gets really weird. And I hope I don't crash our server, but I'm gonna link it to itself. I think I have to be, you don't see it in there, right?
No, I don't.
Let's try a different visual, then come back to it. Maybe it's smart enough to not allow me to do really stupid things like this. You know what I'm going for?
Yeah, I know what you're going for. Do you have to, I think you have to be clicked onto, do you need to be clicked onto an item in the KPI designer?
Maybe I was like, it was too far in.
Yeah, after this, it's 2:54. Yes, it's 2:54. After this, we can wrap up.
So do you want to, again, ask, I don't know if a lot more people have joined, their favorite candy. Go ahead and throw that in the chat while I'm trying to break.
Yes.
Qlik.
Guys, we're making a data set with a bunch of candies. And I am a candy fanatic, but I didn't think that I would run out of candies to add into my data set, but I have. So my question is, what is your favorite candy? Please let us know. We're going to include it in the data set, or tell us your least favorite candies, or just whatever candy you're eating right now. And yeah, we'll add it in. I don't know that many international candies, so I think I'm missing some from, Europe or wherever you are. Let us know. I have tried a Lion bar, though. I think a Lion bar is like a British thing.
A Lion bar? That sounds like a very geeky Vizlib thing.
No, Lion.
Oh, Lion bar. Oh, yeah. I've had those before at the airport.
Those are pretty good.
Cool. Okay. Can you take my share off of the screen so I don't go do the Hall of Mirrors? I don't know if, yeah, there we go. Cool. Thanks for experimenting with me. Hopefully that wasn't too chaotic, but I think people got a view. It was actually good to get into it. Like, just feel like we're just talking, but hopefully, you know, people had fun with this. We can give some more ideas, but we'll take requests too for different guests, or if you want to play with a certain feature, see us build things out. That's what this is all about. We try not to script it too much, although I had a little bit of an idea of where I wanted to go with it. So thanks for bearing with us. And this is weekly, right? We're going to keep on this pace.
This is weekly.
Because we're going to have these meetings anyhow, just building stuff out. So we might as well. Oh, thanks a lot. We'll keep doing this. And if people find it interesting and useful, yeah, we'll stay on it.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining.
Cool. And thanks, James, for producing. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Enjoy your lemon juice.
Yeah. No, I won't.
All right. You can find us on Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah.
I think that's the limit. We just put it everywhere. So
yeah, we're everywhere.
If you can't find us, maybe you just spelled Appy Hour wrong. So we're everywhere now. Awesome. All right, Jane, take care. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Al.